Hello there, and welcome to another Genshin video. Now this one is going to be a tiny bit different, because this one is actually going to be a showcase of my account. Yes, recently, well, before Christmas I believe, I actually managed to hit AR 60. Now I haven't done this video until now because I didn't have that idea. I didn't realize, hey, you know, AR 60 is a huge point for your account, it's a huge achievement. Yeah, it's an achievement for the fact that you don't go out and you don't touch grass, but anyway, that's besides the point. And because of that, I wanted to go ahead and do a little showcase on my account and have you all see how bad it is. Well, other than a couple characters. But yeah, let's begin first with my character archive. I wanted to go through it just to show all the characters I currently own. And just as an overall, alongside just why I didn't pull for some characters. Poor Beidou. The funny part is that Beidou is a character I actually wanted ever since I saw him for the first time in the story. Maybe not instantly, but it took a while. But it was so unfortunate. I already had Nahida, I didn't really need a healer, and there was also Fontaine coming out sooner or later, so that was the reason. Even that I technically kind of regret not pulling for, because he is amazingly powerful, and I do like his design. It's just that Furina was coming out, you know, but I still pulled for C1 Wriothesley, but that's besides the point. There's Wander who actually pulled on a second account. I haven't really built him yet there, but he never really screamed to me like I really want to get him. Honestly, same with Nilo and Ignari. They look cool, their kits are really nice, but they never really screamed like, hey, yeah, I really want to play them. Ignari mainly because of his charge attack playstyle. Well, bow charge attack playstyle. As for Yato, I don't really have a reasoning. I guess I don't remember when his first banner came out, but I might have been you know, saving for someone else. Miko and Shenhe are again two characters that didn't really call for me kit wise, because I generally, when I pull for a character, I pull for them because they either look amazing or because I actually want to play them. And their playstyle fits really well with what I want to play. That's why I pulled for C1 Wriothesley, because I really like the whole shtick of just punching people and just, you know, spamming all basic attack. Then you might be asking, why don't I have Ito? Well, because whenever he had a rerun, I just had other characters I wanted to save for. Which is really unfortunate, because I would like to get the Mono Geo Ito team at some point. Kokomi was one of the first, you know, the first character that had the banner when I first started playing. During 2.1, I believe, or 2.0, I don't remember exactly when I started playing again. So yeah, I never really got to pull her, and honestly, I do have Yelan and I do have Xingqiu at, like, decent builds and stuff, but sometimes I do wish I had pulled for Kokomi at some point, because she's both a healer and a Hydra applicator, you know? Ayaka just never really had the whole shtick like, hey, Ayaka, you know?
As a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Artalia, another character I actually have on my second account, and his gameplay is really fun. I think if I would have had him on this account, I would have really liked it, but I don't know, doesn't really scream to me. And then there's Venti, I believe. Yeah, that's the last guy I don't have. I also don't have Chevrus, but that's mainly because I don't want to pull on this banner any more than the pulls I have done. I did like 5 pulls, hope that I would get her. But yeah, Venti, I do want to get all the Archons at some point, so Venti alongside Ito. Now possibly Shenhe and Kokomi are characters I do want to get at some point. Wriothesley as well. Oh, and I didn't get Lini because, well, 4.0, a couple updates before Furina came out, you know? Makes total sense, right? And then I gave in to the pressure and I got Navia recently. And I've been trying to build her up ever since. Yes. Yes, Queen Slay, as they say. But yeah, with that out of the way, it's time to actually look into the characters themselves and to showcase my broken builds, but broken in the sense that they're not good. Honestly, I have very few characters that I would say have good artifacts. A couple of them being Hu Tao, Wriothesley, and Cyno. Well, you could also say Nahida, but she also has the weapon. We'll go into weapons as well. Okay, let's take them in order. I have my Hu Tao, 75 to 100, because I have a Homa. Now, the funniest part is, and I believe that I also have a video on the channel where I have the pulls I've done for Homa, and if I recall correctly, it was 40 pulls. First time I've ever pulled on the weapon banner, it was 40 pulls. I'm still in disbelief, just like in that moment. Also, I now realize that the staff of Homa is like going through her hand there. Huh. Interesting. I'm really surprised. It's her signature weapon, but it's clipping through the model. Anyway. I do have her on a Shimenawa set, though, because at some point... I had her on a Crimson Reach set at some point, and I did think about it, and I wanted to try out Shimenawas, because I had some pretty good Shimenawa pieces, and I really wanted to see how it goes, and it still goes pretty well. You still get a bunch of attack percent, and you still get even more when you use your ability, your skill, when you still have some energy for your burst. But yeah, some decent pieces, nothing too big. Yeah, this one isn't even that great. Do I have maybe a new Pyro cup? Well, I do have Yoimiya's Pyro cup. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into actually building them. And yeah, talents are 10, 10, 4. I really should get this up. As I said, my characters aren't really the best builds, and I'm currently building a crap ton of characters for no real reason other than I really like them, and I want to use them in the teams. Then there's Yelan, who is one of those characters that isn't really that well built. 49, 161 for crit values. Using the Favonius Warbow, I just changed her from... why was it even? Why did I even put her on Favonius? Oh, right, because I wanted to do the triple Hydro Noelle build. So I could switch her back to the Fading Twilight. Anyway. And then artifacts, of course, Emblem of Severed Fates. Yes, you see that right. It's level 0 Hydro damage bonus because it only crit damage, doesn't have double crit. But yeah, my emblem pieces are pretty... I have a couple of them like this one, HP Sands, that's pretty good. But most of them are very, very oof. Then there's Zhongli, who is on a shield bot build. So nothing in the crit rate department. I have a Black Tassel for the HP. And a Tenacity of the Millelith. Why did I not upgrade this one? I do have some decent, like this one's decent, I'd say, when it comes to the crit stats, but... I'm curious though, does Zhongli actually ascend with crit damage? Because I saw that he had quite a bit of crit damage. And talents 194, I forgot to show her talents 166. Because again, I really need to get more investment into specifically Yelan and Xingqiu because they play, well, Xingqiu is at max talents other than basic attack, but yeah. Also, most of my characters, like the 5 stars that are in banners, don't really have constellations. I have C0 for all of them. C6 Xingqiu, I've been playing for 2.5 years at this point, so it makes total sense. I'd say that a lot of my 4 stars are C6. 48101, using the R5 sack sword, of course. And with emblem, yes, that is a 4-star artifact. Don't yell at me. It's, I believe, the only emblem with crit rate that's actually, yeah. This one's crit damage, healing bonus, HP defense, attack, healing bonus. I know. The main reason I don't have that many artifacts to begin with is because until a couple months ago, I didn't use my resin at all for like half a year or so, if not even longer. That's the main reason. I barely have any good artifacts at this point. Then the Chalk Prince Albedo. A lot of the characters I really like are 90 out of 90. Like, for example, Albedo, when I got him, I 90 out of 90'd him as soon as possible. 5117. Also another unit I really want to get better artifacts on, using Cinnabar Spindle. I feel really bad for the Albedo mains that didn't get Cinnabar Spindle. Like, it's so good. 69% defense increase on its own, plus 8 increasing it by 80% more. You know, with Husk of Opulent Dreams, like, these ones are decent. I do have a defense goblet because, to be totally fair, I feel like defense or geo damage are kind of like usable both in this situation. But yeah, I don't really have that great of a goblet of a hat. The sands could be better, and well, the flower does have defense percent, so. Yeah, I'd say the sands could be better. Also, talents 110-1 and constellation 0. Then there's Xiao, constellation 0, and 76-147. I did get the Blackcliff poll for him. It's still at 80 out of 80 because I did start building the Xiao team quite early. After I started playing, like right after I got him. I think it was the next rerun he had after the Hu Tower rerun. Back in 2.4, I think he had a rerun. And I did get the Blackcliff pull for him because it was a crit damage weapon and whatnot, so yeah. I do have a Vermilion Hereafter, which I don't even know how good this one was. So it's a crit rate but no crit damage. Animal Damage Cup, that's pretty good. I think I actually got this recently because it's from the Nighttime Whispers. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Yeah, this doesn't have crit rate, this doesn't have crit damage, this has both. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, Constellation 0 and 6110, because Xiao was at that point was my second team, but because I never actually went ahead and do Abyss floor 12, I will go into that about that as well. I never really actually fully built the team. I just did it so that I could clear floor 11, get the Primogens, and be done with it. Now, there's gonna be a couple characters that are decently high level that don't have anything on them. For example, Beidou lost all her artifacts when I changed to Raiden. When I first got Raiden and I changed her. Because Beidou was part of my original team. Yeah, using the luxurious... Actually, it wasn't the luxurious Sea Lord. What did I even use on her? I don't actually remember. Oh yeah, it was the Archaic, I believe. Yeah, but I do want to build. Beidou at some point because I will want to use her in a Taser Heizou comp, and I will go into what comps I have currently put in the list as well. Of course, no artifacts, but emblem C6. And also 166. You can see that she's a very early character. Then there's Benny Boy, and yes, you saw that right. Main thing, Constellation 6 Benny Boy. I know what people say that you shouldn't C6 your Bennet, but to be totally fair, with how characters are nowadays, it doesn't really matter anymore. Most characters are gonna, if they have infusions, are gonna have their own infusions, and if they don't have infusions and they don't care about the element, they're not even gonna be too bothered by this. It's like very few comps that actually get destroyed by C6 Bennet. Anyway, 3367. I know I don't really have Bennet built that well. I have a Skyward Sword put on him with a Noblesse Oblige. Noblesse Oblige, yeah, because I have healing bonus. He's mainly there for like healing and stuff. And also the attack boost. But I still need to properly build him. You know? As generally pretty bad artifacts. Then I have Xiangling, another member of my original team. I don't even know why I have Noblesse Oblige on her. Anyway, another member of my original team. Missing an artifact. I'm not entirely sure why. I think I moved it on Hu Tower or something. Using Dragon's Bane. And having the stats, 2761. Yeah, I know, pretty bad. 599 and Constellation 6. Then there's Jean, C1. The thing is, I was kind of thinking about building Jean, that's why she's so high level. Well, why is Jean even here? Level 40, I now realized. Anyway, I was thinking about building Jean in order to have her for Furina comps, but at this point I'm not sure. Bennet should suffice, and right now I have a single comp that actually has Furina in it, so I'll see in the future. I could build her. She would be a pretty good character. Then there's Navia, who I'm actually currently building. That's why there's 3 out of 5 artifacts missing. I do have 14 over 107, but that's mainly because I don't actually have a hat on her. I don't actually have any good pieces, at least in like the missing ones. Like, I just got this one today and it rolled the defense, flat defense, and then like 2 rolls into HP percent, so, you know. But yeah, I don't have any good like artifacts. I did get this, was it that or goblet? No, this one I got it, that is pretty good. C0. Balance not leveled up because I'm just I usually the way I like to focus on building a character is I like to focus on the levels, then I go into the weapon, or both levels and weapon at the same time, then do artifacts, and then do talents. So usually I leave talents last. But yeah, I'm really excited to get her built up even more, because I really like her playstyle, and I also like her general design. Also, R5 Mega Magic Sword, with all the Melusine quests done. Like, I have 1200 attack, but I hit like 2200 or so, or over 2000 attack, and I don't even have an attack sans. So Navia is gonna be insane with a free-to-play build. Then I have Wriothesley over here. Almost 2k attack, nice. With 52 to 21. And the thing is, I've lost prayer to the Sacred Winds. I know I have a crit rate weapon, but I think it's currently my best I could have. I could go for the Withsit, to be totally fair, to get the crit damage weapon, but I feel like the passive is also pretty good. I'll see when I swap from Blizzard Strayer. Yes, I have Blizzard Strayer, and I do want to swap to a Marish's Hunter set at some point, but the thing is, I haven't really gotten to farm it that much. But anyway, I need to farm it for Furina artifacts as well, so I will move on to a Marish's Hunter set at some point. Because I think all I really lose is a 20% crit rate. Oh no, a 40% crit rate. Technically only 20% crit rate if we're talking about fighting bosses. No, it's only... okay, I'm stupid. Numbers. It's a 4% crit rate, because Marish's gives you 36% total crit rate. How could I forget how Marish's actually works? Anyway, then there's Yoimiya, who I caved and pulled for her during the 3.8 event. It was just such a good event, and I anyway liked Yoimiya in general before that, so yeah. Shimanoa set with 78 183 weapons, Thundering Pulse. I'll talk about the Thundering Pulse when I'll actually get to the weapons. Then I already showed artifacts, C0 with 1061. And also show quickly artifacts. Actually, these ones are pretty good. This one doesn't have any crit damage rolls, so that would get replaced. This would also get replaced. Pretty good. This would need some crit damage, so yeah, I do have some work to do on Yoimiya as well. Raiden, the problematic child of my account. Mainly because I had her on... Initially, I had her on Emblem of Severed Fates. She was supposed to be a sub DPS in my Hu Tao team. Yes, overload, I know. It wasn't as fun as I thought it would be, but still, I still used it. Then she became part of my Cyno team as a battery for Cyno, and I wanted to do a full Hyperbloom team. So I swapped her onto, I don't remember what set it was, the Gilded set? Full EM. And that didn't really work out because I never got to actually properly build and use that team. And so I swapped her back recently back to at least something when it comes to emblem. Like, she's not that, like, it's 55, 135 with barely any attack, 1200 attack. I do have quite a bit of energy recharge using the catch, C0, and 110.9 when it comes to talents. Then it's Mr. Kaedehara Kazuha with a 24-167. I'm actually surprised I have that much crit damage. Using an Iron Sting, I really need to level it up. Initially, I wanted to use the Tukabo Shigure. I really hope I didn't butcher that. That's why this one's a bit more leveled up, but then I moved that on Alhaitham, and I still need to level up the Sting. But again, I still have, I believe, 570 EM, so that's still pretty good. Of course, with Viridescent Veneer, just get as much EM as possible while getting some offensive stats too. Oh yeah, that's why, because I have a crit. Why do I have a crit damage one? Is it purely because I just wanted to get Viridescent? Yeah, because I wanted to get EM on here. If I do sound confused about some characters, that means that I've done these artifacts 6 months to a year ago. Yeah, that's how long it's taking me to touch on some of the characters. Ganyu. Yeah, artifacts are 0, like no artifacts on her, because the Blizzard Strayer set that's on Wriothesley was Ganyu's set. I got Ganyu when I was just doing some random pulls. I did a random 10 pull on Ganyu's banner. It was early pit, it was like 20 pity, and I ended up getting Ganyu, which I was like, sure, if it happens very early pity, why not give me? And I think it's the earliest pity I've ever gotten. Did I not have? I don't even know what weapon I had on her. They never put, or did they get the Blackcliff Warbow? Anyway. C0, and of course barely any like stats because she doesn't have anything on right now. I did want to start building her at some point. I thought, oh yeah, it's Ganyu, I could just get a really good team going on for her. But her playstyle is very boring to me, unfortunately. I don't know, it's very boring. In Tignari's case, at least I'm interested in him because at least there you have very quick window where you do the charge attacks. You're not just standing there waiting for the charge attack to, well, charge up. You do your skill and then you quickly do 3 charge attacks and then continue with the rotation. Next up is Mr. Cyno with 68, 209. Decent attack, I'd say. Having a white tassel. Yes, I'm using the white tassel specifically because of the crit rate and that it increases normal attack damage. It's really interesting how like a 3-star weapon, some 3-star weapons can be such good like fits for these 5 stars. Like, you have some crit rate and you also have normal attack damage. It's honestly the same with Navia's weapon, with Navia's free-to-play weapon that you get from the event. Or well, Cinnabar Spindle too. Artifact-wise, Gladiator, I'm using a Gladiator Finale set. Gladiator Finale? I don't know why I thought I was using a Gilded set. Anyway. Oh yeah, because of the normal attack damage increase. Right. Right. Yeah, as I said, I haven't touched Cyno ever since I got him, because that's when I built him. Constellation 0, talents being 199. And then Nahida. Yeah, my favorite character, honestly. She's just a small little onion. Small little radish. 1000 EM, having the 1000 floating dreams. Yes, I didn't wail for this. I did put some money and I did put $50 in. And I got really unlucky because I got the Thundering Pulse from earlier and I also got the Skyward Pride before I finally got this weapon. I had so many wishes saved up then and so many of them went down the drain technically. But then again, now I do get some use out of Thundering Pulse, and I do have the weapon for Nahida, which gives 265 EM and does a lot of stuff. Artifacts, going for a Deepwood Memory, of course. Why not? And yeah, it's all like EM focused. Mainly because she doesn't really require whatchamacallit, offensive stats. All she really needs is just elemental mastery as much as possible. Well, up to 1,000, because if I recall correctly, she only gives away like 25% of the EM using the burst. But still, Constellation 0. I will want to get C2 at some point because of the effect. Because Hyper Bloom, Burgeon, Burning Bloom, etc. can get crit hits. And the thing is, even then, you're still not going to need to get whatchamacallit. You're still not going to need to get offensive stats because there's specifically fixed at 20% and 100%. Also this. So this, like, it benefits both Hyper Bloom teams if I would ever get to do one, or Quicken teams like Cyno's team. Mr. Alhaitham at 0 talents. Oh, 1994 for Nahida. Then there's Alhaitham with 851. I pulled for him. I wanted to build him. I started building him. I do have some artifacts, but I never finished building. He's at 48, 119, with some artifacts not even being fully leveled because they aren't that great. For example, this one. But yeah, I will wanna. He's another one of the characters I currently have in a team that I will want to go ahead and build. And there is Furina, who is another character that's very recent, and I'm currently, well, want to focus on building her for the Navia team. She barely has anything right now. Like, I'm using the the Ferryman, the pipe. I'm hitting people with a goddamn pipe. I did farm for R5 because I really liked the effect, plus it's the best free-to-play weapon from what I've seen. There's also the craftable weapon from Fontaine, I think that's also really good. And I have a oh yeah, I do have a pretty good plume. Nice. The good thing about Furina is that her level up stat, her ascension stat, is crit rate, so I have a pretty good amount of crit rate just from that plume. And the also, actually, I don't remember. Does the weapon crit rate increase appear? Like, if I would be to give this to her, and would look at attributes, 41%. No, so technically, the same way it's with Raiden and the catch, the elemental skill crit rate is technically right now at 57. I think I'll actually easily go for a crit damage hat, huh? Anyway, C0 and no talents because, again, I haven't really gotten around to do them, unfortunately. We'll do that, though, I promise you. Then there's Mona, who is honestly, like, it's I don't know. With it, going for a combo of Heart of Death and Noblesse Oblige, because I don't think I've ever really gotten to get a full set of one or the other, because I don't like taking artifacts from a different character. Like, I could take the Noblesse Oblige from Bennet and move some of them onto Mona, but I don't really like doing that. Constellation 1, because standard character, 1/1 talents. What I was building her for was honestly the Ganyu team as a Hydro Applicator and damage buffer, but I never really got to do that team, so yeah, she's now at level 80 with barely anything on. Well, not barely anything, but with artifacts on and stuff, but not really doing anything. Then, of course, the main character, Lumine, first character I've used. I did did build her for as Deepwood Memories for Dendro because of the Cyno team. She was the Dendro applicator before on my Cyno team. C6 and then nothing in the talents. Then comes Noelle, who I was actually building before Navia came out because I wanted to do a triple Hydro Noelle team. But since Navia came out, I just switched my focus to that. I wanted to go for this, what's it called, for a cake Petra, and then get Furina, Xingqiu, and Yelan on the team and just go ham with that. And especially because I have C6, because C6 is really good DPS. Then there's Heizou, C2. The taser Heizou that I wanted to build. I believe I had some artifacts on him, but they went onto Kazuha, because I believe I got Kazuha after I got Heizou. Anyway, with the sacrificial fragments, like, he's there in level. I think I have some talent. Yeah, the E is pretty leveled up, but I didn't do much with him. Like, another one of the teams that just went under the radar and will go under the radar for a while longer. Kaeya, who was, I think, the only character out of the starter characters I actually went ahead and put further. As you can see why I'm saying out of the starter characters. I have C1, which is nice, but I never really went ahead and built him. He's 80 out of 80 purely because I had to get the character at higher levels for like Abyss. I think when it was still quite early. I don't remember exactly, to be honest. Then there's Klee, who I got during the during 3.8. 3.8? Wait. Am I mistaken? Because I said I got Yoimiya during 3.8. I think I'm screwing up the times and the events that they took part in. Or maybe I'm not. Anyway, I got Klee because she's cute. And I really like this witch costume. Like, it's so goddamn adorable. I don't have Dodoko Tails, unfortunately, because I would put Dodoko Tails on her, but I did not play during 1.6, so screw me, right? Again, C0, barely any artifacts. I think she does have some of the artifacts that my Hu Tao had. Oh, okay. I got scared. I put an animo one on her. Yeah, I think these are some of the ones I had. No, might be. But yeah, and just like Heizou earlier, another character I didn't get to build because the team kind of went on the back burner. Same with Sucrose. Sucrose was I started to initially build her as a battery for Xiao for his burst. So I have Thrilling Tales here. I have Viridescent Vernier. To be honest, I don't even need the Viridescent on this team. C6 and some no talent level ups, unfortunately. Then there's Diona, who I was actually building as a healer / cryo character to get in the Wriothesley team, but it's so unnecessary to have a healer that I haven't even went on ahead and built her. Using a sack bow with Novice Oblige. I really should still use the burst just for the bonus damage. C6 and 144. Then there's Dehya, who I actually initially... Did I pull for Dehya? I think so. I think I did when her initial banner came out, and that's why I actually have C2, because I actually got 2 more Dehyas, which if I had known this, I don't think I would have pulled for her because, you know, unfortunately Dehya isn't the best character out there. She is quite a good tank and stuff, but yeah. I don't even think I have her in a team, but she's here because I leveled her up a bit. I do want to build her at some point, but I'm not entirely sure into what team I should put her. Honestly, if you really want to, you could still use her as a main DPS. Nobody stops you, but I don't think you're gonna clear Abyss 12 with it. Qiqi, I did some things for her. Again, very early character, C1 Qiqi. Yes, somehow Qiqi isn't my most, my highest constellation, which is weird. No talents, I believe, yeah, because I just built her for very early Abyss. Then there's Yunjin, who I wanted to build for the Yoimiya team, but I didn't really get to it. 6. No talents. Same honestly with Layla. I wanted to build her as the shielder for the Ganyu team. Never got around to it, so she's just here with some random stuff. C2. No levels. Fischl. I don't even know. And I never even tried to build Fischl, honestly. but she's here because we're approaching the characters I never even built, which is, I believe, in here. Yeah, from this point on, all of the characters are just there at level 20 out of 40, or slightly higher if I use them early, in order to get the wish. Unfortunately, I never really built them, but I do want to get most characters built up at least to a decent level at some point. So, but still, let's go over Constellation. C3 Razor, C6 Toma, C6 Kole. We're never going to talk about this one. I do have C1 Kuching and C0 Diluc, C4 Goro, C6 Ningguang, C1 Bennet, C1 Farazan, C4 Sayu, C3 Charlotte, because I pulled for Wriothesley. C1 for Monet, Mika, C6 Rosaria. I know, I could use Rosaria on the Wriothesley team, that's the thing. C6 Chongyun, C6 Dory, only C2 Qiqi, that's surprising. C1 Kujosara, C1 Lisa, on Kave, C3 Yao Yao, 0 Kirara, C6 Candice, C6 Barbara, C4 Yanfei, so we have the Tank Fei, C1 Xinyan, and C1 Amber. That's actually funny. I have C1 of all the starter characters, the very rare ones. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the characters and their builds. As I said, I have the very few characters that are really well built, but most of the supports aren't as well built. So like, my Hu Tao does a ton of damage, but mainly because she is really good and really powerful alongside the vapes and the high Hydra application. My Albedo does do around 26k with the flower explosions, which is awesome. Wriothesley does a lot of damage, and I'm in love with the character. And I've seen what Navia can do. I've seen what Navia can do, and I am scared. I am properly scared by what Navia can do. Cyno is really fun, honestly, and I actually liked him even before Nahida was revealed and what she can do. It's just that it was more annoying to play before Nahida. With that out of the way, let's actually take a look at the weapons I have on the account. Not C, but B. Let's press B. Oh, this thing just expired last night, I believe. Yeah. So in total, I have 8 5-star weapons. I have the Thundering Pulse and one of the Skyward Prize I said I got before I got 2,000 Floating Dreams. I got Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds. I think I got this one from the Standard Banner. Same with the other 2 Skyward Prize and the Skyward Blade. Because, so between the Staff of Foma in 2.3, 2.4, I don't even know when Hu Tao had the rerun and I pulled for her, and the time 1000 Floating Dreams came out, I did not pull on the weapon banner. Or I might have pulled on the weapon banner, but only for some sacrificial swords. That's why I have an R5 sack sword, and I think I have a couple more. I have an R5 the Catch, R5 Overlords, the Ferrominute R5. So most of the event weapons, other than, where is it? Other than the Ibis Piercer, are all other event weapons from 2.1 onwards are at R5. Now, why is Ibis Piercer at R4? Why don't you just, you know, go ahead and refine it? I don't have the final congealed pupa wax because somehow, through some weird, not sure exactly what I would even call this, I forgot to purchase the final pupa wax. I did all the events during that update. I did all of the mini games from the event, but I never purchased the final pupa wax. Somehow, don't know how I did. Anyway, other than that, with it, I did get Blackcliff Pole and Blackcliff Warbow, purchased them with Star Glitter, Dragon's Bane. I did craft a bunch of white blinds, which I now regret because I'm not building her anymore at this point. Sarcophagus, Tugabo Shigure, Favonius Warbow. I have a ton of rusts, so if I do get Child, I have an R5 rust at the ready. I find it hilarious. I do have a lot of sacrificial bows, a bunch of stringless, a bunch more Favonius Warbows, you know, lots of 4 stars, especially a lot of Rain Slashers. And bells. But even more. Yeah, almost another R5 sack sword. Interesting. And yeah, the characters with 3-star weapons. But that's about it. Other than that, it's just like I do have 9,000 enchantment ore. Like you can literally see the fact that I haven't really done much work on my account until recently because I've been hitting the 9999 mark in Mystic and enhancement ore quite a lot. So that's funny, right? That's fun. Then the artifacts, I don't really have anything to show here. Yeah, no, not really. Then the Yelan bookmark. Oh, I didn't refine the sword, the ballad, the swords, whatever it's called. Where are you? Because I know you're on a character. No, it's not this one. Then which one is it? This one. No, that's Sword of Ascension. Anyway, I'll take a look afterwards. Doesn't matter right now. But yeah, if you want to look, I have like 600, 700 books, 3,000 something of those. Just if you want to take a look at materials. Some of the earlier materials I don't have as many of anymore, like these ones. I used a lot of them, and I haven't farmed Whooper Flowers in a while because there hasn't been many Whooper Flowers in Sumeru or in Fontaine. And generally, where I farm is generally in the new region because I kind of stay throughout the whole year in the new region. I barely go back to older areas unless I need some materials from there. For example, look at how many claws I have from the wolves. And the robots from Inazuma. But yeah, there's not much. Oh yeah, these things. I still need to do this week's weekly bosses. I got a bunch of boss materials and then the crystals, ascension stuff. Not much really to show here. I think like the same in food, other than the fact that I have 3,000 apples. Like, yeah, I do like to actually keep like this one, for example. I do actually like to keep up the. Is this a birthday food? No, but I think this is, yeah, Mika's specialty. I like to keep the specialties. They're really cool, and especially that you guaranteed get one for each character once a year. That's awesome. My billets, not that many, because again, I didn't do weekly bosses for a long time. I do have 5,200 crystal chunks only because I've only recently started doing expeditions to get them. I don't know why I didn't do them earlier. Also, materials from like different nations. Huh. Oh yeah, right, because I still need scarabs for Alhaitham, because he's still not 80 out of 90. Woods and fish. Then we have gadgets, which I have, I think, most of the gadgets, at least event-related gadgets. And I also do like to keep one of the resonance stones. I like collecting stuff, you know? I do only have two series, unfortunately, and it's so sad that you cannot buy multiple. Like, for them to at least allow you to get 2 of them would be nice. Then, the actually category that I love the most, the quest items that remain with you. These are so cool, because imagine just at the end of the game, you finish it, and then you go through, and you randomly click on Colley's Windbloom, and you just remember of the event. You know, stuff like that. It's gonna be so cool. Then the random stuff, I still don't have everything in Enkanomiya. Got a bunch of Hydro Sigils I will need to get in the next update, hopefully. The Oculi. And the 1 Crimson Maggot I have extra because I thought honestly, that there's every one of the tree things, right? For example, the Frostbearing tree would have one extra agate, but no, I have an extra agate because I farmed it before I completed the Frostbearing tree. And it's the same with the lantern from the chasm, which is very sad in my opinion, because I would love to get one of extra of those two as well in order to have them in the collection. You can see 38 wishes. I kind of wanted to show these when I get into the shop, but whatever. Also, I almost missed this. I got so lucky because my phone has limited space on it. So right now, unless I delete a ton of stuff from it, I have no way to download Genshin. And I got so lucky that last summer, the game was still quite small. It wasn't 24, 28 gigs, it was still like a bit under 20, I believe. Because I wasn't at my computer, and my laptop couldn't run the game at that point. Or it could, but it would take a very long time to get it downloaded and everything, and I didn't want to miss it, so I got it on the phone. And yeah, the spin crystals, I should really need to get and see which ones I'm missing and to get as many as possible. And of course, teapot stuff, which I haven't focused on my teapot like at all. There's not even a real reason for me to go in the teapot because I don't have anything in it. Now, what else would there be? Well, the map progression. Yeah, I don't have resin maxed out because I actually used it. So yeah, pretty much. Can I zoom further? No. Okay, let's take it backwards, because once I get to like, you know, to like Leo and Mondstadt, it's pretty like kind of sad. So yeah, when it comes to Fontaine, the only thing I'm really missing are 1% here and 6% in the Court of Fontaine. And honestly, the Fountain of the Scene levels, but those aren't doable right now, unfortunately. I really love this whole thing with being able to go through levels and stuff. But yeah, everything's unlocked, all waypoints, all of the domains and everything. Then we go backwards. The thing is, the newer the area, the more percentage is gonna have completed. Because I technically kind of like, I didn't speedrun through Mondstadt or through Liyue. Don't get me wrong, I didn't speedrun through them. But I didn't have as much time to spend in them as I did in Inazuma, Sumeru, and Fontaine, where, you know, I would spend around a year in them exploring and doing stuff. You can see here how, like, Sumeru, everything's at least above 95%, I believe. 94, at least above 94%. Oh, never mind, because that's 90. Still, again, everything's open and unlocked. I believe I have done all of the puzzles in the area because I actually took them one by one, even with like lists and stuff, because I really wanted to finish them. Because I honestly really loved the exploration in Sumeru, even the desert. Not re-exploring it, because re-exploring the desert is a chore, but the first time you go through it, I really, really liked it. Then there's Inazuma, and I think the first island that came out when I started playing was Seirai, right? It was Seirai, and then Tsurumi came out. So yeah, as you can see, again, as I've said, completion is almost done. 94 on Watasumi, 95 on Kanazuka, and 98 on Narukami. Seirai and Tsurumi were like 100%. I still remember how annoying Tsurumi was when I first started playing, though. Then there is Liyue, who is barely at 80% in most of the parts. Well, barely at 80% in general. Bishui Plain 84, 18 Minlin, Chasm is 76, and even Underground Chasm is pretty bad. Where are you? Chasm Underground. Actually, no, never mind. Chasm Underground is better because it's a newer area. I still got a bunch of things to do there. And for return, there's also the Sea of Clouds at 80%. And then we have Mondstadt, which is actually very small now that I think about it. I actually have a 100% there. Okay, I didn't expect that. 95 in the Windvale Highlands, 89 in Dragonspine, 84 in Starfell Valley, and 86 in Bright Crown Mountains. So yeah, I do have a bunch more exploration to do in these areas, but I kind of want to leave those for something a bit more special that I will do at some point in the future. And yeah, as for like progression, I as in like the different, like for example, the Fontaine of the Scene is at, I believe, 30 is the max currently, so that's maxed out. The what's this one called? I actually don't know what they're called here. The Amerta pool is leveled up. Pretty much everything else is leveled up. The Aranara tree is also leveled up. The Chasm one is leveled up. Everything's at max level. All statues are at max level, etc, etc. But that's of course obvious because I do have all of the oculi, so that makes sense, you know. And now for the last two things, I think would be, well, there's also this, but I think pretty much everyone has completed their like guide and battle and stuff. Like these are very easy to complete. Experience, yeah. You know, I was really hoping they would add a new one, like a new level. Because I think there's still phase 6, unless phase 5 is level 80 to 90. There's all they can add spending like electro sigils and so on. 2 characters with 4-piece, like more characters with 4-piece 5 stars, and get characters to level 90. You know, there are still things that you could do. Higher spiral abyss, more shrines of depth. These are very like easy to do, but it'll be nice to just have more progression in here, you know. Then there are the achievements, which are where? There they are. Yeah, Wonders of the World. Here at the achievements also, because I'm also curious. Purveyor of Punishment, my max crit hit right now is 160,000. Huh. On 20... Oh, that's a long time ago, so I haven't hit a higher crit rate since then, huh? Like, a year and a half. Well, a year and a couple months. Anyway, 779 total achievements completed. Lots of the regional ones, like the newer regional ones, are almost done. Only missing like getting a bunch of chests. I don't know, there's not really much to see here. Most of these are chest related. TCG, I never really got into TCG, unfortunately. Yeah, I might try again at some point, or at least get the things that I can get by doing it with NPCs. I might at least finish that. Yeah, I do also want to start focusing at some point on achievements specifically to get as many of them as possible. For example, these ones should be pretty easy and would fill in here, and I would also get this, which is nice. And other than that, honestly, the shop, is there anything really in the shop? Well, kind of, I guess. I do have Welkin. I do get it every month because it's a really good value, let's be honest. Character outfits, I'm missing these ones. I don't have the Barbara one because I didn't play during the event, unfortunately. And yeah, so expensive. Ugh. And yeah, the new Ayaka skin, and I believe there are some I think we're gonna get some new skins in 4.4 update, I believe, which really hoping some of them look similar to the ones that we got last time on Lantern, right? Because this aesthetic, the aesthetic, can I see them? Thank you. The butterfly aesthetic looks amazing. Like, I love this skin. It's so gosh darn beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I really hope we get more of these. And the main reason I bought it is because I actually had Qiqi already. Otherwise I wouldn't have done so. I don't really use these. Paimon's bargains. I do want to go ahead and buy these because I like to keep my wishes into wishes rather than primos. I got my Stardust stuff, like the wishes here, when the month changed. And I'm keeping Star Glitter usually as Star Glitter. Who knows? Maybe at some point I want to get more constellations of characters or another Black Cliff series thing. I don't know. As for top ups, I don't do top ups. I might do in the future. there is a character that might come out at some point called Arlecchino, who I would love to get C2 R1 if she's a main DPS character. But if it happens like it happened with Dehya, I think I'll just get her C0 and that's it. As in, she's gonna be a disappointment, but I really don't think Hoyoverse would want to do the same with Arlecchino specifically, especially at how popular she is. But yeah, the only one I actually purchased before was this one, the $50 bundle. I did do this before. But yeah, I do, and these I have from like remnants from that, alongside, you know, getting 300 every month from here. Which is nice, because I technically have around like another 10 pool here. So going into the wish screen, I actually have, instead of 43 wishes, I have 53 wishes because of those. Since we're here, let's take a look at the history, even though it's not really gonna show much. Yeah, I got Sacrificial Orb, Sacrificial Fragments, sorry. But yeah, I do have 10, I got Navia, and before that I had, after that I did get it to 10 pity, because I like to keep it at 10 pity intervals. And I was kind of hoping I would get the Chevrus. Before that, what did I actually get? I believe it was Furina. At some point. Yeah, there she is. Furina. As for weapon, do I even have any history in here? Yeah, no. I thought so. And as for the standard banner, I got a Layla. That was really nice. And I think it's still pretty early in the pity. 30. Yeah, not even 40 pity. And there's the Skyward Pride I talked about. The Skyward Pride is haunting me. I have 3 Skyward Prides. For some unknown reason. I have 3 Skyward Prides. And if I go into the standard banner details, there's a lot of weapons I would like to get. For example, Primordial Jadewing Spear, Wolf's Gravestone, even Aquila Favonius would be pretty good. Yeah, but then again, seeing that the Skyward series is like 5 out of, you know, 10 weapons, not even 10, 5 out of 9 weapons, it kind of makes sense. But give me a Jade-Winged Spear, because I want to give that to Xiao. Seriously now. Anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was actually quite fun to go back and actually take a proper look through my account, because it actually shows me how much... Oh, wait. Actually, I almost forgot. The teams. How could I forget about this? So yeah, I have my Hu Tao team with Hu Tao, Yelan, Zhongli, and Xingqiu. Then there is the Xiao team, which I wanted to go for an Albedo for this as a sub DPS, Sucrose, battery, Bennet support for increasing damage. Then it's the Heizou Taser team. Raiden here as a battery for Beidou, and of course as electro application alongside Xingqiu. Then it's the Wriothesley team with Xingqiu for Hydra app, Kazuha for the Shred, for the Cryo Shred, and Diona as a support. We have the Cyno team with Raiden sub DPS slash battery, you know, a quicken team. The thing is, I could always replace Raiden with a Xingqiu if I ever want to do a Cyno Hyper Bloom. That's a nice thing. Then I have the Alhaitham team, which is exactly the same thing as the Cyno team. I know. I could use a second Electro character instead of Nahida here, though. Then it was my attempt at doing Hyper Bloom with Xingqiu, Nahida, Raiden, Zhongli. But yeah, it never really got to be a thing. Then is my Yoimiya team with pretty much the same as the Hu Tao team, because it's a vape related team. So yeah, Yoimiya, Zhongli, Yelan, Xingqiu. Then the Navia team, which is actually the newest one and the one I want to focus on right now, which has Navia as the main DPS, Albedo as the secondary Geo character and the sub DPS, Furina for like Hydro applications, so I can get crystallized shards, alongside her burst being pretty good because of the increase in damage, and Bennet for more application and the attack, well, mainly for the burst attack increase. That's the main point of Bennet in this team. Which honestly, I could use Jean mainly because of the Furina burst, but I don't know. And then there's the final team, which is the team standing by, because this one has random characters. Because there are sometimes random puzzles that require you to use Hydro, or require you to use Cryo, or require you to use a bow character. And up until I got Yelan, I never had the bow character, for example, in the Hu Tao team. Nor do I have one in the Cyno team, I believe. Yeah. So I would have to resort to using this team, where I would put whatever character I needed at that point. For example, there were sometimes torch puzzles. So I had to use Amber because she's ranged and she's pyro. So, you know. And the fact that there are 4 more teams being added, like 4 more team slots are being added, is awesome. I love it. Anyway. But yeah, that's my account. Teams, characters, builds and stuff. I really want to get and actually start working on some of these characters. For example, Yelan, Xingqiu, and Raiden are 3 characters I can easily get on working, because I can do Emblem of Fates, like the emblem set. I can easily get a lot of those, and that would also give me some Shimenawas, maybe get better pieces for Hu Tao and for Yoimiya at the same time, and anything bad I could dump into Husk, for example, to get a good hat for Albedo. But now I'm going to focus on honestly getting Navia and Furina up there, because I really want to use that team, as doing 150 to 200k E with Navia it's insane. Like, seriously. If I do go onto her team and I take her out, I will have 1800 attack. Okay, so it's not as much as I thought it would be, but it pretty much doubles my base attack because of the weapon. And with her talents being pretty much like, what's the attribute? 400% base shot plus 36% per like extra bullet, I believe, which is insane. And you can have 6 bullets, so that's 550, 600% your attack at level 1 with full shards. And you get pretty big increase, 30% here and 2% here. Anyway, but yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you did enjoy the content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.